Okay, hi. Hopefully we're live. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Welcome to this afternoon's webinar. It's all about scheduling tweets using Hootsuite and how to make life a little bit easier for your social media. I'm John, and I do social media search engine optimization training throughout the UK, working with individuals and also marketing departments on really how to build a better website and make social media work better for them. And a little thing, I've opened up the chat thing, and if you want to ask any questions, then just tap away on the chat thingy, and but I will get them about a minute later, if you know what I mean. There's about a minute delay from what I do here to you seeing it. So if you do leave a message, it might be about a minute before I respond to it. This will be available as well afterwards to watch, so if you have to dash off or the phone rings or something, then don't worry. It'll be on my website, also on YouTube as well, to be able to watch afterwards. So let's get the slides up and we'll kick off. Right, hopefully you can see that okay. Right, cool. Okay, this is what we're talking about, scheduling Twitter posts using Hootsuite. Hootsuite is software that you can use to manage your social media. I use it quite a lot myself, and you can manage multiple social media accounts in one place, which is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. It saves you so much time. If you want tips on social media, search engine optimization, follow me on Twitter, @JohnTromans. You can see the little link on the screen, also on Facebook as well. And if you like podcasts, you can get my weekly podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher. So let's kick off. And the first thing I want to do is talk a little bit about why you should schedule tweets. The main reason is that it saves you time. It can save you an awful lot of time. Not everybody has the benefit of having a marketing department or having somebody to do your social media for you. So you're in a situation where you're doing your job and you've got to schedule stuff on Twitter. You're going to post on Twitter, and Twitter needs to be busy. It's not the sort of network that you can just post one or two things. You need to keep your Twitter account nice and busy. It's a little bit like radio. So if you think of Twitter as people dip in and out, like you might dip into the radio for 20 minutes when you're going on to work, you might listen a little bit during your lunch hour. Radio is the sort of thing that you dip in and out of, and Twitter works very similar to that in the sense that people aren't monitoring it or looking at it for any length of time. It's usually dips in and dips out. So not everybody sees what you post instantly. And if you post in one go, sort of like 3, 4, 5 things all in one go, then everybody who comes in later in the day might just miss this stuff in their timeline. They won't see it at all. So this will save you time. Scheduling tweets will save you time. It'll save you having to stop what you're doing at work and then do a tweet and then get back to what you're doing. You'll also write better posts as well, much better posts. And the reason I say this is because when you sit down and schedule some tweets, you'll actually be dedicating some actual time to scheduling and writing tweets and posts. So they'll be better. You won't be sort of like stopping halfway through a job and just knocking out a tweet and then going back to what you're doing. You're actually dedicating a little bit of time to writing some better posts. So it should help you present better posts and more engaging posts as well. It also lets you target times and dates and things like that, so you can schedule posts for events and for all sorts of different things. If you've got an audience in the US and you're in the UK, then they're going to be up and about whilst you're in bed. So you're going to be able to schedule a few tweets late at night at your time for other time zones. And also little events as well, like this webinar. I scheduled a whole load of tweets for this webinar. There was an hour before it started, half hour before it started, 15 minutes before it started, and all that was scheduled beforehand. And it also gives you a chance to plan campaigns as well. If you're working in a marketing department and you've got your campaign calendar going and you know exactly what you're doing, you can actually schedule tweets and announcements and things ahead of time so that you can stay ahead of everything, basically. So that's why you should schedule tweets. It's going to save you a lot of time. That's the main point. There's a few things, though, that you probably don't want to schedule, and those would include things like Twitter chats and networking hours. And you might think, well, I'd never do schedule a Twitter chat, but people do. They schedule things, and it doesn't kind of work. If you're in a Twitter chat or a networking hour on Twitter, then that sort of thing is where you really need to be, and you need to be chatting and talking. You need to be live. So don't schedule anything there. Direct engagement tweets. If you're asking a question of your followers, if you're asking, if it's a survey or you're asking them for their opinion or their feedback on something, don't schedule that, because you can have this little chat between you as it's going along. So direct engagement tweets, where you ask questions, don't schedule those. Good morning, good evening tweets, don't schedule those either. I don't like those scheduled. The good morning ones, you might say something like, morning, it's a lovely morning today, and you scheduled it 3 days ago, and it's absolutely hacking down with rain now, and it doesn't work out too well. And Tesco, big supermarket here in the UK, they got caught out with a scheduled evening tweet a couple of years ago, and they said something along the lines of, good night, sweet dreams, we're off to hit the hay. Well, they mentioned the word hay on the day that there was a big scandal developed in the supermarket industry in the UK about horse meat being used in processed foods. So they were sort of like saying, hey, we're off to hit the hay. It was quite funny, but a few people thought it was a little bit insensitive in that. And if they hadn't have scheduled that, they probably wouldn't have said it. And don't schedule the same messages on all your social media accounts. That's a big no-no. Sort of like have the same tweet and exactly the same message going off on Facebook and maybe to LinkedIn and Google Plus and places. Make sure that you design your posts for the different platforms. So that's what not to schedule. How to schedule. Right, we're going to use Hootsuite for this. There are other tools which you can use, and TweetDeck is another good one, and Buffer app is a really good one as well. That enables you to schedule your social media. I quite like Hootsuite because it deals with a lot of different platforms, and it's all in one place. They have a free version and a pro version as well, and some of the features I'm going to talk about today are included in the free and the pro version. I'll let you know as we're going along which one is which. So we're going to look at 3 different ways to schedule tweets and Twitter. All right. The first is from the dashboard, the main dashboard of Hootsuite. The second is using the calendar function, which is a pro feature of Hootsuite. And the third one is bulk scheduling from a spreadsheet. You can actually create a spreadsheet of tweets and then upload it to the system, and it will automatically schedule. So let's dive straight in to the Hootsuite. Right, here we go. Right, I've got a test account here. This version of Hootsuite I'm showing you now is actually the free version of Hootsuite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of streams in to start off with. The streams are basically the different searches which you can do on Twitter. So we're going to put the home feed in. This is basically my timeline, my home feed for this Twitter account. And then I'm going to add this one here, which is scheduled, so I can see a list of all the scheduled posts for this Twitter account, and then we can get scheduling. So the first thing I want to do is show you how to do it using this dashboard. It's really, really simple. At the top here, we've got our little compose box where we can actually compose our tweet. So we can say, hello, this is a tweet. Right. And then what we want to do is we can hit this little scheduling thing here, and we get 2 different options. We get an option to be able to schedule it normally using a little calendar, or auto schedule it. The auto schedule thing is okay, it's all right. I don't use it an awful lot, just a little bit, but what it does is it tends to try and learn when the best times and the best engagement happens on your Twitter account, so that you can and then it'll actually schedule the posts around that sort of time. It works okay, but I prefer to have a little bit more control over things. There are some other settings for this auto schedule thing which you can look at, which are on here. So you can actually look at how many messages you schedule and between what time. So if you didn't want to schedule any messages before 8 o'clock in the morning or after 7 o'clock at night, you can set that in. And you can also select the days that you want messages to be scheduled on. So it's reasonably powerful, it's quite useful, but I don't tend to use it an awful lot. I like to have a little bit more control myself over the various tweets. So right, here we go. This is how we do. Let's do a schedule now of from the calendar here. We're going to schedule something for tomorrow, which is Thursday the 15th. We're going to put it in at 5:05 p.m. and then we're going to schedule this. So we'll just hit the schedule button here, and within a couple of seconds, there we go. This is sending out 5:05 October the 15th, 2015. Hello, this is a tweet. Right. Now, if we want to do an auto tweet, let's see where this goes. So we'll turn the auto schedule on, and then we'll just click auto schedule. Give it a second, and there we go. There's the automatic tweet. So this one has automatically scheduled this tweet to go out at 5:55 today. And that'll automatically get pumped out. And you can do this time and time again. You can add images to your tweets. If you want to add an image, then you just click the little icon there, and you can select things from your computer to add images. You can add your location and things as well if you want to. It's too much to do with this schedule. But this is a really good way, using this dashboard, to be able to schedule tweets at specific times, at exact times. So if you want to make sure a tweet goes out early in the morning, in the 7 o'clock and the 8 o'clock hour, when people are heading to work and they're getting up, and that's the sort of time people tend to grab hold of their phone and they check the messages, see what's happening on Facebook, see what's happening on Twitter. And the same thing maybe when they're traveling home in the evenings. If they're on the train or something, they might be just flicking through Twitter in the evening. So you might want to be able to schedule some tweets in that 7 o'clock hour and 8 o'clock hour when people are heading to work, or maybe in the 5, 6, 7 o'clock hour in the evening as well, and catch people as they're heading back home. And this schedule system here with the little calendar gives you a great chance to be able to actually specify exactly when you want the tweets to go out. Brilliant idea. That's probably the one thing I use the most, is that type of scheduling for myself. So the second type of scheduling is using the calendar functions in the publisher for Hootsuite. And these are actually a pro version, so you need to upgrade to pro version to do it, but it's really powerful. I'm going to switch to my pro account now on, here we go, on Hootsuite, and this is the one which I use for myself and all my clients and everything. So this is the live one. Pretty busy at the moment, it looks. So we're going to head over to the publisher. And we can see straight away on this publisher feature, there's like an agenda version, like the Google Calendar agenda version, a list of all my upcoming scheduled tweets. You can see my tips, which I leave every day on social media. There's the ones for Thursday and a couple there for Friday as well. There's podcasts in there as well. And that's everything which is kicked out all the way up to Thursday, November the 26th. I've got stuff scheduled for. But then the really cool thing that you can do is you can switch to a calendar view, and I use this quite a bit as well. So if we switch to the week view here, we can then see a calendar version of when all our tweets are going. We can look at a day view, which is just everything that's going out today, just got the one left later. And there's the week view, and there's also a monthly view as well, so we can have an overall look at how busy each day is during the month. But we're going to look at the week one first. We're going to show you how to let me show you how to do a schedule something on here, and this is again quite clever to do. So what we do is we just click on one of these little time slots. So let's have a look at tomorrow, which is Thursday. There's no tweets at 10 o'clock, so we're going to click that. 10:30. I'm going to adjust this slightly, and I'm going to say 10:35. Okay, and then we can do tweet. Hello, or let's do a hello world. I haven't done a hello world for ages. Right, we'll do a hello world, and then we'll click the account like so, and then we'll click schedule, and bingo, it goes straight in, tweet hello world. And that's how you do it using the calendar function. It's as simple as that. You can just keep clicking on various different areas of the calendar and add your tweets, which is a fantastic way to be able to do it. This is a pro feature, okay, of Hootsuite. It doesn't cost a heck of a lot of money. I think I pay about £12 a month for all these pro features, but for me, it's worth it, to be quite honest with you, because the amount of work I do on social media. So that's how to schedule using the basic calendar thing. What I'm going to do now is show you how to do it using a spreadsheet. And let's open that one. We've got a spreadsheet lurking around somewhere. Bulk uploads, here we go. Right. It's a really simple spreadsheet. I'm using Google spreadsheets to show you how this works, which is free on Google Drive. Just create as many spreadsheets as you want. And it's a really, really good way to be able to upload what I call broadcast messages. They might be little messages like, hey, I'm on Facebook, or join me on LinkedIn, or check out my Google Plus page, or just general broadcast messages. If you're a bricks and mortar store, for instance, you don't want to say Thursday is late night shopping. You're open till 8 o'clock on a Thursday. You don't want to have to keep remembering every single Thursday, maybe twice or 3 times a day during that day, typing in, don't forget we're late night shopping tonight, open till 8 o'clock. You don't want to keep doing that all the time. So what you could do is create a spreadsheet and reword that tweet in lots of different ways, and then put it into a spreadsheet and schedule it for 2-3 months ahead, and do a whole load of scheduling so that every single Thursday, a couple of times a day, there's going to be some tweets going out which saying tonight is late night shopping, come along and see us, we're open till 8 o'clock. And it's that type of tweet where these bulk uploads really, really help. They're the boring tweets, the kind of like the information stuff, the broadcast tweets. So creating this spreadsheet is really easy, absolute doddle. But you do need to make sure that the format of it stays exactly the same. So the first column needs to have the date, and it needs to have it in this format, or you can have it in the American format. So the date itself can be in US or UK European format. So at the moment I've got the 15th of the 10th, 2015, that's tomorrow. And this is an actual snapshot of what's going out tomorrow. And there's a tweet going out at 8:25 which says, fancy a quick like, I'm on Facebook and post social media tips and news. Okay, and there's the link to my thing. So the first column is the date and the time of when you want the tweet to go out in that format. The second column is the text, the content of the tweet, what you actually want to say. And you can put a hashtag or 2 in there as well. And the third column is the link, and Hootsuite will automatically shorten that link to one of its hourly links, so it's automatically shortened down. It looks, yeah, it's a bit tidier in Twitter and that. So the third column is for the link where you want it to go. So make sure you have this in exactly the same format all the time, and just change the dates, change the posts and things, and you'll be good to go. So once you've done this, then what you need to do is head over back to Hootsuite, and we go to the bulk message upload function here. Now I'm not actually going to do it, but I'm going to show you what you do. You basically you choose the file, so you download your spreadsheet. I'll show you how to do that quickly. We download it as a comma separated value, CSV. Okay, that's the format that it needs to be in. Just literally create a spreadsheet, download CSV file, simple as that, right? Then we head into Hootsuite, and you can upload that CSV file. So we can choose the file and select it. We then select our date format, so it's day, month, year for me. If you're in America, month, day, year. And then you can select your social media network from the list to actually post it to. I'm not going to do that myself because of the fact that this is actually a live thing. And then once you've done that, you click the submit button, and it will automatically upload that spreadsheet, and it will put it straight into your Twitter account. And then what you'll be able to do is close this, and you'll be able to head into your calendar and be able to see exactly when all those tweets are going out. Or even if you want to, you can head into that schedule thing. Let's open up this one again. So if we go back to the test, this one here, we've got this little schedule column here, and you can actually see everything that's scheduled in the future in one big long list. So that's pretty much how to schedule posts using Hootsuite. It is quite easy. It's pretty simple. Once you've done it a few times, you'll keep doing it, I promise you, because it will save you an awful lot of time and effort. That's the main reason for scheduling your posts. Don't believe the social media snobs which are out there who say that you can't schedule social media and everything's got to be in the moment sort of thing, and so you don't schedule real conversations with people. Well, social media is not really a real conversation. It is a conversation, and it's a type of conversation. It is engagement, but it's not exactly the same as a face-to-face, one-to-one conversation. I think we'll agree with that. So I hope this webinar has been interesting. I hope it's been useful to you. And I hope have a play with Hootsuite. You can sign up for the free version and get scheduling. You can also use Buffer app as well, Buffer, which is another tool for scheduling. You can also use TweetDeck as well. They have a scheduling system built into that, so you can use these tools as well if you want to. If you enjoy social media tips, then head over to my Twitter account. Do them all the time. It's at John Tromans, and my website has details of all the podcasts that I do as well. I do a weekly podcast which comes out on a Friday afternoon, which is basically just an in-depth look at all the tips that I talk about on the Twitter account during the week. So I hope this has been useful to you, and thanks for watching.